Political speculations, prediction of political contests have for a long time been a reserve of political observers and pundits in the country. But the game is seemingly taking a new twist with the entry of the clergy in the prediction era. Certainly, close to a month to the much anticipated August 8th poll, theories, concepts, and notions have continued to emerge in a bid to predict who will occupy the most coveted seat. Toward this end, we meet with Kennedy Akidiva, a researcher who uses political exegesis to explain who will be the ultimate winner in the presidential race between incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta and his fierce rival, NASA's Raila Odinga.
Political exegesis is a systematic process whereby we explain events and give out a reasonable and coherent sense of meaning and message using the Bible.
Akidiva started his insight with confirming how Kenya's first president, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's political trajectory was rooted in the scriptures.
Is to redeem our country from the yoke of colonialism.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 from verse 13, it tells us this: better was a poor and young youth than an old and foolish king who no longer knew how to take advice. For he went from prison to the throne, though in his own kingdom he has been born poor. So we are being told of a king who is coming from prison to become a ruler who is coming from prison to become the ruler of his kingdom. But when he was young, the Bible says he was wise, he was better. Then when he's becoming king, he changes, because the Bible says he no longer takes advice when he becomes king.
Before the senior Kenyatta became president, the colonialists had toyed with the idea of having either Tom Mboya or Jaramogi Oginga Odinga to become president. However, history have it that Raila's father gave Uhuru's father the presidency.
Where does Jaramogi stand now? We go again in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 27, from verse 26. It tells us that when this ruler comes, him who had helped, it talks about the anointed or the Messiah. This is now he is like a shadow image of the Messiah. He selflessly says, let him come from prison and become the president. So he is cut off.
No ground at all.
Indeed, Jomo Kenyatta became president after his political friend Oginga Odinga fronted him, but in 1966, they parted way due to ideological differences.
That is why when he becomes king, he parts way with them who fronted him to become the president.
Further, as elaborated in Akidiva's research, the senior Kenyatta was bound to go against land's right of some rightful owners, something that was deeply encrypted in the Holy Book.
Despite the fact that he knew about the scriptures, when he became president, he started doing things contrary to the scriptures. He took land and displaced them that originally owned that land. Therefore, he was supposed to be punished. But why is it that God didn't punish him? There is a word in the 1 Kings. We must check 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 11 and 12. This is where the word says that I will punish you because you've done contrary to my words, but not during your time. I'll do it at the time of your son.
Akidiva's research further comes up with a triangular power and governance connection for the past, present, and future of Kenya, South Korea, and America.
We have now to look at again the relationship between Kenya and South Korea. When Kenyatta is ruling in South Korea, there's also another president who is taking over just 5 days after Kenyatta. Kenyatta starts 12th December. In South Korea, there's Park Chung-hee, who starts again in 1963. And Kenyatta dies in 1978. The South Korea president dies in 1979. But he was the first South Korea president to visit Kenyatta in 1964. Now, when we come to 2013, the same thing occurs, but in a different form, whereby now the son of our founding father Kenyatta becomes the president in 2030. That's 50 years down the line. In South Korea, the daughter of that then president becomes the president of South Korea. The same thing is happening, but in an inverted manner. Kenyatta comes from prison to president. Get? Now, when we go to South Korea, the president of the daughter of that president who was a friend to Kenyatta comes from being president to prison. The same thing happened, but in an inverted form.
Kenya's relation to the United States of America is said to be hinged to numbers and the sequence of power, and the tie to the former US President Barack Obama, who is a Kenyan American.
When now Kenyatta is becoming the president of Kenya, we realize that in America, it was during the reign of Kennedy, who was the product of the 44th quadrennial election. So Kenyatta is ruling between the winner of the 44th quadrennial election and the winner, and again the winner of the 45th quadrennial election. Now the number 44 and 45 appears when Kenyatta starts to rule. You realize this number appears again when his son Uhuru Kenyatta is ruling, whereby now is ruling in between the 44th president of America and the 45th president of America. These are what people call it coincidences, but for us in the political exegesis, we refer to it as mysteries of God.
As for South Korea, President Park Geun-hye and Kenya's first president Jomo Kenyatta established diplomatic relations between Seoul and Nairobi. Come 2013, their offsprings, which is President Uhuru Kenyatta and South Korea immediate former President Park Geun-hye, also made similar visits.
The United States is your first foreign visit?
The triangle further reveals that South Korea is also related to United States of America, since the first foreign visit President Park Geun-hye did was to meet President Obama in the US, marking 60 years of bilateral partnership between the two nations.
She met Obama. Now Obama is now the ruler of the North. Then the last foreign trip she made is the one she came to East Africa, that is Kenya. After coming from Kenya, when she went back is when all this scandal arose and she was impeached. So you see that triangle. The first foreign trip she's going to the North to meet the King of the North. Then the last foreign trip she comes to Kenya and goes back and her work is done. She's removed from power.
Join me tomorrow in part 2 of this exegesis as we set to unravel the connection of this history with the country's current situation in this mysterious triangle pitting Kenya, South Korea, and United States of America, according to exegete and political researcher Kennedy Akidiva. Irene Mwangi, KUTV.